So how can you actually build a highly profitable personal brand without a lot of followers actually? And why is there so much misinformation out there? We're gonna talk about all that in today's video. Let's get going. Welcome back, my friends. I can't do this thing because the camera is just too far away. Anyway, my name is Dominik, and we usually talk about social media marketing, about how to build a personal brand. And the first thing that we're going to talk about today is you actually hitting that subscribe button, right? Right. Done that? Awesome, my friend. So let's talk about how you can create a highly profitable personal brand. Because why do I know that? I actually do have some sort of thing that I consider a highly profitable personal brand, because I'm actually a very, very small fish in terms of all the social media things out there, of all the social media gurus, or in internet terms, I'm actually really small. But I actually consider myself pretty successful, having hit now multiple six figures just through my personal brand. So this is what I want you to actually do yourself, because why not? Because why not, right? So the first thing that I hear actually a lot out there when talking to people, when talking to clients actually, is actually two things. First of all, a lot of people say, and I kind of tackled that already, but a lot of people say, oh, in order to have a profitable personal brand, in order to make a lot of money, you need to have a huge audience. And this is actually very, very wrong. And like I just said, I'm the example number one. I'm not huge. And there's another example, a client of mine, actually my co-founder, who's not here right now, but my co-founder, he had 150 subscribers on YouTube, not a lot of views, but still he kind of positioned himself the right way. And guess what? He managed to land a client for $10,000 with just 150 subscribers. So, right. You see where I'm coming from? It does not matter how many followers you have. In case you're wondering about myself, I probably told you about that in some other older video. But when I had just over 4,000 subscribers here on YouTube, I managed to regularly pull in more than $10,000 per month. So that's all mindset stuff, okay? That's all in your head. And I was at myself, you know, especially in terms of mindset. I was really, really at a low point. I was like, how could that be possible? All those people out there, they're just trying to sell you your courses, which a lot of people are, to be completely honest, and it wouldn't work for me. And this actually takes me to the second thing here. What a lot of people say is, these things just don't work for me. I'm different. I'm a unique snowflake or anything like that, but I'm just different. All this advice out there, it's not applicable to my situation because I'm different. And I was at myself. I thought that myself. I thought, you know, this sounds great, what I hear on the internet about monetizing your personal brand, about building your personal brand. But in my case, it's different. It's just a little bit different. It just doesn't work like that. Let me tell you what, my friends, this is not true at all. Of course, everyone is different. There's not a clear-cut way. There's not a way that's the same for everyone, you know, that you can copy and paste it. It's not like that. And that's why a lot of courses actually don't really work, because there's only this one pathway and that's it. And at one point you're gonna watch the video and be like, oh, okay, it makes a lot of sense. But I don't know how to put this whole information towards my, personal story, towards my personal brand. And this is what actually sets apart, in my opinion, the successful people that kind of plow through it, is they actually test out a lot. They do a lot of testing. They try out things. They're not afraid of doing some things wrong, right? So now we got that out of your mind. You're not different. It works for you as well, even in the weirdest kind of niche, in the weirdest kind of constellation. Second of all, you don't need to have a huge audience. Anyway, the next thing that you should absolutely do when building a personal brand is the positioning part. And it sounds kind of boring, to be honest, but your niche needs to be really, really well defined in order to make yourself, first of all, stand out from the crowd, and to actually show that you're somewhat of an expert in the field, whatever you want to do. Naturally, if you want to create a profitable online personal brand, it's about some sort of education, right? You want to teach people, you want to show people, you want to inspire people to do something. It's not just entertainment. And actually, it's not just education as well. I believe it's education plus entertainment. It's both things combined. This is what makes people actually, be drawn to you as a personal brand. Plus, it actually needs to be relevant to whatever medium you're on, right? For example, if you're on YouTube, you need to make sure that the content that you want to put out, your niche, is actually kind of searchable. People search for that. People watch that. And a big indicator for that happening is if you have competitors. And lots of other people, they're like, and I was at myself 3 years ago. I sat at my home and I was like, okay, I didn't even know what I wanted to do because I had no idea, but I had this one niche and I was like, I can't do this. There's already 10 people out there who already do this. And this is so wrong, my friends. This only shows that there's a market for that. And, the internet is really big. The world is really big. And if there's competitors, there's a proven market, which is all you need. The next thing that you should know about when building your personal brand is this thing called the 1,000 true fan theory. And a lot of people talk about that. I've been talking about that for a year already, but I actually think a lot of people get that a little bit the wrong way. Because a lot of people make it seem like it's an easy thing. They're like, oh, here's the theory. It's the 1,000 true fan theory. Just do that and you're all safe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Right? But it's not easy like that. Not at all. It's a very, very hard process. It's a long process, and it's kind of an unpredictable process, which is something that, when you want to build a profitable online, personal brand, you're building a business. And when you build a business, you kind of want to tone down and eliminate the unpredictability factors out there as much as you can. And unfortunately, having fans is one substantial part about having a personal brand. So see where I'm coming from? This is a very, very hard thing to do. And I see it a lot with creators out there who try to build their personal brand. They put a lot of videos out there. They have 400 videos on YouTube. They have, I don't know, whatever medium. They have 1,000 podcasts out there, but no one just really listens to them. No one there's some spikes in there for some more relevant topics, but they just don't seem to grow. And whenever you're building a personal brand, you always should have some sort of system into place. You should have your statistics in your mind. You should know, okay, am I growing right now? Am I not growing? Why am I not growing? If I was growing before, what did I do differently? Okay, always have a system into place. And what I wanted to say is about the fans theory. Naturally, you need fans when building your personal brand. And this is why you should do a thing that I call planting the seeds for your fans. Meaning, if you just randomly create content, like I just said, you won't get far. You create content, that's it. People are, they're not going to return. And what you want to do is you want people to return. You want people to hit that subscribe button, to hit that subscribe podcast button, to bookmark your blog, follow you on Instagram, stuff like that, because of you, because of the content, and because of you. And there's some things that you need to put into place in order to achieve that a lot faster. And when you have these things, you'll see all of a sudden you'll grow a lot faster. You get more followers that way and fans that way ultimately. So what are these things? For example, one of the most important ingredients of this is being relatable, right? Relatable and engaging with your audience. A lot of influencers out there are actually lacking that. They're not relatable. They kind of try to shut themselves in front of this curtain or in front of this mirror or the Instagram mirror, and they're like, all right, this is the Instagram world, and I'm just going to show you through this perfect kind of mirror. And, because it's nice and all the brands like that, and I get brand deals, stuff like that, which you should, by the way, not go in for the brand deals. Actually, you should not go for brand deals at all, but that's another video. But people notice that, especially when building a sustainable personal brand where you kind of have an online business next to it or a service-based business next to it. People just know that. People feel that. People have that in their subconscious mind that you're not honest. And this is a big, big thing, really, my friends. You should be honest. You should be relatable. You should be engaging with your audience. So how do you do that? As simple as that. You just by telling stories, for example, by telling them where you are where you were in the beginning, where you are right now, where you want to go, and you can show your weak spots. You can show your failures. You can, share your thoughts. You can share when things are not going right. And this thing actually sounds really counterintuitive, especially when you kind of want to establish yourself as an authority in your niche, stuff like that. But believe me, it makes people relate to you a lot more. It makes you more reachable, which is something that it's really missing, on the internet. Because back in the days, the personal brands were people who were unstaged. They were on the big stages. They were on the marketplace, doing their speeches. They were the hunters, back, 10,000 years ago. They were the people who, built houses, built huts, or killed that bear, stuff like that. They told them their stories. They told them, okay, this is how I did it. This is what I did. People became drawn to them, and then of course, when some guy was like, I need a beer. Can't you do that for me? Obviously, because I know you did that. I know you have problems with the first bear, but I'm pretty sure you're the best candidate because you're honest, you're true. And this all comes back to now. If you don't get it, comment down below. I'm going to try to answer it as best as I can. So the next thing that you absolutely need to be thinking of is your audience, right? And a lot of people just start by doing. And I was that myself. I just started by doing. And I was like, okay, I'm going to figure out what my audience is along the way. And it's kind of true, but it was actually kind of not that well executed, to put it that way. So you need to know who your audience is, not only to create the content that fits them and makes them want to come back again, back to the fan theory, but also in terms of products and services. You want to sell something, you want to earn money through your personal brand. And if you don't know really who your audience is, you can't create a product that's for them. So that's why every content creator, every personal brand out there needs to do something called creating a customer or follower or fan avatar, which is basically you take out a piece of pen and paper. Is that how you say that? Yeah. You take out a pen and paper and you write down exactly who your dream, maybe customer or who your dream follower is, right? You really, as detailed as possible, everything that you can think of, who is that person that you make the content for? And then you create the content in your products and everything around that person. For example, you're a fitness, your personal brand, you have fitness program, you do fitness Instagramming, stuff like that. And for example, your follower avatar is a 25-year-old guy who has, problems with motivation, with motivating himself, and with discipline, kind of just want to go to the gym. Sometimes goes to the gym, but not always. So it's kind of difficult. He's kind of overweight, but still wants to get further, not only in terms of, getting a six-pack, getting a nice shape, but also just getting, further ahead in life, in their personal situation, and personal development, stuff like that. Just for example, this is an example that maybe a fitness influencer has. Of course, if you want to be really, really professional about that, make it a whole page, write a whole page down, write everything that you can think of. Which also brings me to the next point, my friends, and this is a very important point, which is your products or services that come along with your brand. And I was kind of like that myself. I didn't want to sell my audience stuff just because I felt like, I want to give them value. I want them to have the best results as possible for free. So I don't want them to think that I'm a sellout. But that's actually a whole nother mindset problem. And if you think about it, it's actually kind of a denial of help even. Because, obviously there's some people who need to have things done that I happen to know how to do. People know me through the Instagram or YouTube, and they just know I'm able to do that. So by me not putting that out, for example, they don't have a chance of helping that. They might go to another service, which is really bad, which hurts them, which brings them a lot more pain that they already have. So, why should you not do the same? Why should you not, plug your services or products out there? And in my humble opinion, you should create a service-based product first. Don't even think about a physical product or anything like that until you either have, hundreds of thousands of followers or hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue every month. So in my case, it was, of course, a social media marketing agency. I, founded a social media marketing agency, and these things just come natural, right? When I talk about social media marketing a lot, about personal branding, Naturally, I have a social media marketing agency where I help people do exactly what I tell in my videos, right? Anyway, a bonus thing that I actually want to talk about right now is for the people who are kind of like me, you know, kind of like all over the place. Stay on one platform. You know, choose one platform which comes native to you. It doesn't have to be YouTube. It doesn't have to be Instagram. It could be podcasting. You know. Everybody has a different form that, you know, content form that resonates with himself. And obviously, if it resonates with yourself a lot, then it resonates with people. You know, it's kind of a law. It's kind of a thing that, you know, makes, you know, subconsciously people just notice that. But whatever that is, stick to that. Stick to that. And I know there's lots of other people out there, you know, big influencers like, you know, Gary Vee, for example, who says, all right, infiltrate all of the platforms, infiltrate everything that you can, you know, maximizing your exposure, repurposing all of your content on all of these different kinds of platforms, right? But I tell you the realistic thing, which is happening in the real world out there. You know, it's just not viable for most of the people. You know, because most of the people don't have a real team behind that. And if you do actually find yourself in the very, very generous and very, very cool situation of having a team just for that, you've got to make sure that your team is actually pretty good, because, you know, they should really know what kind of content works well on which platform and how they should repurpose it in order to perform the best on each platform. And I actually had a social media marketing manager from a big, you know, rock star reach out to me. Unfortunately, I can't name names. And he just said the same thing. He was like, yeah, there's more. Of course, there's more social media managers. There's a whole team for that, for this rock star. And, you know, most of them, they don't know jack shit. They just they kind of hurt his account. And, you know, looking at it, it's actually true. So if you have a team, if you're a rock star, by the way, and watch this right now, you know, check out your team. Chances are not all of them know really what they do, right? And if you don't know what they do, you know, hop in a call with me. Anyway, so if this is an interesting topic for you, if you have a personal brand that you want to scale to 4 to 5 figures a month or even more, if you want to break out of your shell, I actually recently started a mentorship program where I assess a handful of people, actually only, you know, take them, go through every step that they need to take with their own personal situation, form a strategy plan for 8 weeks. You know, make sure that they execute it the right way. You know, we're always in a very, very close contact to, you know, scale the brand to the next level, you know. So if you're interested in doing that, there's only a few spots available anymore. Go to heyDominik.com, fill out the application form, hop on a free, you know, call with us. You know, we can talk about anything you want. We can talk about your current strategy, what, you know, things that might hold you back right now. Maybe we can even find some hidden opportunities for you and give you actually some sort of, you know, actionable plan in the free call as well. So yeah, that you can grow your personal brand to the next level. Anyway, all for free. You know, just take 30 to 45 minutes of your time. And if you don't have time for that, just keep watching my videos, and actually hope you can use this information to scale your brand to the next level. And I'm sure you will, because it's actually possible. Don't worry about it. Just look at me. I'm not special. It works. And I'm a small fish in the big sea. Anyway, I'll see you in a couple of days, my friends. Bye-bye.